Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Ken, and I'm here in New York City at the Microsoft Surface event, where Microsoft just unveiled a lot of products. Also, Austin isn't here, so he's having me host the video for some reason. Perhaps the real stars of the show are those, the Surface Neo and the Surface Duo. Also, we are really far from them and cannot get a great shot, but here are some press images and press video of them, and I hope they look good. The core selling point of these two devices are generally the same. They are dual screen devices that fold out to reveal a bigger device. The Neo looks like a dual screen laptop that folds out into a gigantic tablet, whereas the Duo, I'm gonna try really hard to remember these names, the Duo is kind of phone sized and folds out to be more of a tablet size. It kind of bridges all of these form factors together. Now, there's not a crazy amount of information about these two devices. Microsoft actually unveiled these literally just to get it in the minds of developers before its launch in 2020. But here is what we do know. The Neo, the bigger one, is running a modified version of Windows 10 called Windows 10X, which aims to be a dual-screened, optimized version of the operating system, and it's slated to run on Intel's 11th gen architecture that's being made right now and developed specifically for this device. And then on the much smaller end, we have the Surface Duo. It is actually a Microsoft Surface phone that is running full Android, so you can run Android apps, and the only thing that's left for it now is, and the reason why Microsoft announced it now, is so that Android developers can develop apps to neatly work with this device. It is really neat in concept, and I actually got to hold it in a closed-off room that's somewhere back there. It was a dummy unit, but I can say that the design of both of these devices feel really good. The hinges feel great. Obviously, there's a lot of really cool material design there. So I think they have the hardware down. We'll just have to wait to see how the software is executed when these things come out later in 2020. So a surprise to no one, this is the new Surface Pro, the Surface Pro 7. And it looks more or less the same, but there are some key differences. So something that you'll notice is that there's a USB-C port this year, something that a lot of people have been wanting on the Surface for a really long time. But otherwise, it more or less looks the same. Internally, it is upgraded with Intel 10th gen core processors, but I think my favorite feature of all is with the proprietary Surface connector, you can actually fast charge this thing at 80% in less than an hour, which I think is really cool. The Surface Pro 7 will start at $749, available on October 22nd, but of course, as usual, the keyboard and other accessories like the pen are also not included, so you will have to factor that in as well. What does look new, however, is the brand new Surface Pro X, which harkens back to the early Surface days when it ran on ARM hardware. So this is running a custom ARM chip, the Microsoft SQ1, that is based on the Snapdragon 8CX. Whew. I don't know how Austin does this. Now, unlike that 8CX, this is running on a 7-watt TDP and has a redesigned GPU. And it's running full Windows, but with a slight caveat. So ARM apps on Windows have been a thing for quite some time, but this actually relies on emulation to run x86 apps. Now, this might not sound great, but Microsoft claims that the x86 emulation shows little to no performance difference as far as how apps run on it. We'll have to see how this fares in the real world, but on the flip side, ARM does have its own set of benefits as well. Now, what this all means is a thinner and lighter design. This is 5.3 millimeters thick and 1.6 pounds. It also means better battery life. It means LTE, that's the... No, but I think one of the most interesting things about this, though, is the keyboard cover. So it's like a normal keyboard cover. It has the keyboard, it has the trackpad, but this one actually integrates the pen. So on the top, it'll magnetically or wirelessly charge the pen and cover it up when you don't need it. It's a really neat design, and honestly, I don't know where I'm going with that thought. It's cool. Thanks, Jimmy. That's exactly what I was thinking. Last but not least is the screen. So this is a 13-inch screen in a 12-inch body, so it actually does go edge to edge with top and bottom bezels, which means that it is easy to hold. You're not gonna have accidental presses on the screen. Very useful for something like the Surface. And on top of that, it has a 2880 by 1920 resolution, which is 227 pixels per inch, which I think overall rounds this thing up really well. It looks like a really cool product. Again, with it having an ARM processor, we're gonna have to wait and see on the performance of how this thing looks. But as a package on paper, it looks really cool. But I think something that in particular Austin is probably super excited about is the Surface Laptop 3. Now it comes in two sizes, the 13.5 and the brand new 15-inch one, and there's a few differences between both. Now this 13.5-inch model looks fairly familiar to the previous gen. It has this cloth finish, but the distinction between the 13.5 and the 15-inch model is that the 13.5 runs the Intel 10th Gen Core processors on the 10nm process, and the 15-inch model runs a custom Ryzen chip with Vega graphics. But I am not the expert on these things, so I'm gonna call one to see what he thinks.
Microsoft have lost their minds today. I mean, they've got AMD processors, they've got 10th Gen Intel, they've got upcoming Intel stuff, they've got Qualcomm, they've custom designed some of this stuff with AMD, with Qualcomm. Like, this is, so many Microsoft events have been boring. So many of them have been so boring, yet they threw everything at us.
Ryzen on the Surface Laptop 3, what do you think?
It's semi-custom, but by semi-custom, I don't think it's actually all that different. So as far as what I've been able to see, it is actually not a physically different chip, and it's the same die that they use on standard 2nd Gen Ryzen. So the main difference here is that they're optimizing it, which means it's a fully enabled GPU. So I think one of the main things here is that while, yeah, you'll probably be getting a little bit more performance and it is slightly tweaked compared to regular Ryzen, it should be much, much more stable, much, much more performative. It should be a better overall experience compared to other Ryzen stuff on the market.
For a computer that looks like it can go toe-to-toe with the MacBook Pro, this does have some pros and cons versus that computer. The first thing is that it does have USB-C, which the previous generation did not have, but this also doesn't have Thunderbolt 3 on those ports, which means you cannot expand to, say, an external GPU. A cool thing, though, is that the cloth option is optional. So on the 13-inch, you can actually get this nice aluminum finish, and on the 15, it's standard, which I personally like. But I think the biggest benefit of all is that with that Surface connector, again, this does have that quick charge. So in less than an hour, it can go to 80% charge, which is really, really cool, especially for a laptop that is as powerful as this. And of course, like other Surface products, the screen is awesome. The keyboard travel on this is fantastic. It's everything that you could possibly want in a premium, relatively thin package. It's genuinely really cool, and we'll have to get one of these in to try them out. So that has been a really quick look at what Microsoft had to show us at their Surface event. Definitely stay locked into the channel, as we're going to take an in-depth look at this stuff as they come out, and especially since you'd probably want to hear it from the boss man himself.